Nice. I'm glad they've got that there. Before they built that, where did people have to go? The closest? Columbus?
I don't know where I went, but I don't remember. I'd have to start searching through my head.
That's okay.
It's pretty well scrambled up.
Okay. Yeah. Remembering stuff and all that, yeah.
I go inside to do something, and by the time I get to the door, I don't know what it is I'm going in for.
Is that pretty new, or is that just the last month or so?
Oh no, I've had it for so I just go on in and stand around there. Oh yeah, now I know.
Yeah. And then does it always come back to you?
Not always. Sometimes I turn around and come back and sit down, and then it'll come to me.
Yep. I understand that. Yep.
I'll bet you've experienced it.
I have.
I was telling this 12-year-old granddaughter one day how forgetful I am. I said, well, I'll tell you, I get up out of my chair and walk in the kitchen to get a drink of whatever. And when I get out there, I don't know what I'm doing. I forgot already. She said, oh, heck, she said, I do that all the time.
She's 12.
12 years old.
How's that?
Sure got a prayer.
The stepdaughter's daughter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any children?
I have 3, yes.
Young, older?
Yeah, they're all grown up. I have a daughter who's 28, a son who's 30, and another son that's 26.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would never have guessed how many her kids would be that old.
The one I'm talking to is Amber's daughter.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Back to your military, were you ever considered disabled, like the service-connected disability of any percentage like they do? Okay. Okay. And are there any other family members, say in the immediate family, that's in the military now, or has been recently? Any immediate family members in the military?
I don't have any immediate family members.
Well, my sons were in the military. I was in the military.
There you go. A Marine?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How long were you in?
About 3 years.
Marine and crew.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I ended up getting married and got pregnant and got out. Was, one of those things, but I didn't want to raise my kids in the service. I wanted to be home for them, which I'm glad.
Yeah. Very good. What did you do for a living? What did you retire from, or what did you do for a living?
Sheet metal worker.
Sheet metal worker.
Spent 30 years pounding on sheet metal. That's why I got the hearing aid.
Oh, okay. Did you work over Zanesville way, or Newark, or?
Detroit, Kentucky. I was in the whole bomb. That's what they called us. I wouldn't accept. There was a couple contractors I wish I could have went to work for, but they never offered. So I was just whole bum. I just take a job.
Are you saying a hall bum?
Oh, H-A-L-L, union hall.
Oh, okay, hall bums.
That's what they call us because we spend a lot of time sitting in the union hall. They send me on a job. I go work. It might be 3 or 4 days, or a week, or a month, or whatever. Get done, go back, sign up, wait my turn, and go again.
Okay.
It was beautiful because it was so much variety. And I couldn't believe some of the things that I did. Kept it interesting.
Sure, 30 years of that. Yeah.
I wasn't with the same face as all. You get a job and there's bound to be somebody there that rubs you the wrong way. Well, if it happened to me, I'd say, oh, what the hell? this job's only good for 6 weeks, and I want to put up,
Then you won't. Yep. They'll be moving on, and
Yeah.
yeah.
But I had a lot of, I don't know, 100 and, I can't quote the number now, 100 and, oh, a bunch of jobs I had in my time in there. I only ever had a couple jobs that lasted a year. Mostly they were just a week or two. And I liked it.
Perfect. I said perfect. Yeah. The variety.
It feels monotonous.
Yes. Whoa. There you go. Very interesting.
Yeah, I got to bounce around and meet new people. And I had job offers, but it was never anything. I would just always wanted to go to work for Frew, and Savensville, George Frew. And I did work for him for about a year and a half, but when things slacked up, I went down the road and just never could. And he's a friend. I run into him every once in a while. Fritz Frew. He runs it now.
I know the name, but I don't know them
Well,
personally.
George was the one that founded it. He's long gone. Fritz is about my age, I think. I bumped into him once in a while. It wasn't mad at me. It was just time to cut down on the forces, and I wasn't one of his regulars, so I went.
Yeah.
I could have shot one of the regulars maybe and took his place. I don't know.
I don't know if that would work or
Well, there was
not.
a couple down there I could have. But that's, you go, anywhere you go, there's going to be somebody that.
Yeah.
A lot of my work was just one person, specialty work. I did so many different things when I think back on it, Lord.
Yeah.
I got sent out on jobs I didn't even know anything about. They sent me down to Cambridge, so what's the factory down at Cambridge?
There used to be RCA, and there used to be not Colgate, but the one about. I always think about batteries, the big battery plant.
That was it.
That was it.
Gold Gas. No, that wasn't it. I worked for Gold, but that wasn't down there. Well, anyway, they sent me down. They said, "You know anything about?" Said, "Can you weld plastic?" And I said, "Sure." There wasn't no sheet metal involved, but it was ductwork, and they were putting in there was an outfit down there in the Vilbus Corporation installing a bunch of paint spray booths, and all the piping and ventilation was plastic, round plastic pipe, big stuff. And it's kind of funny. There was just a whole bunch of fittings involved. It wasn't all straight pipe. And of course, an elbow that's that big around is going to stand out. It's quite a big piece. They're made up of what you call gores. The pieces in an elbow.
Okay.
They're actually cut out of straight pipe and then rotated. And you cut straight pipe on an angle and then rotate every other piece, and it becomes an elbow.
Okay.
When they weld them together. Plastic. Not that thick. And I come down there, walked in there just before starting time, introduced myself, and he said, "You're a welder, aren't you?" And I said, "That's me." I said, "Where's the equipment?" I have a little look here. And we got this little box set on the table. Well, I didn't know what I was into. And opened it up, and it's just a small machine. It's nothing fancy. Overgrown drill motor almost. But there's a book with it. And I grabbed the book and I said, "Where's the little boy's room?" I went in and sit down in the crapper and taught myself how to weld plastic. Went out there, hooked that machine up, and went right at it. But the welder, they sent these elbows from a shop in Michigan. And the guy up there wasn't good. He didn't fuse the stuff together. He just squirted like caulking. He squirted weld on it, but they wasn't really bonded. And on the way down, they were all falling apart, bouncing in the truck. By the time they got there and got them unloaded, they knocked them all clear down and cleaned all the joints. And then I had the job of welding them.
You had the real welding piece to do it.
It was a fun job, really. Oh, the guy patted me on the back, said, "That's great." Just a matter of getting things hot enough, you know. There's no sparks. You don't have to wear goggles or anything. It's like caulking more than anything. But in the process of it, you have to. There was I forget now. No, the torch had a flame on it. Yeah, and you had to make sure you had both pieces at the melting point, and then you had a rod just like a welder. You had to have all three pieces melting, and so they'd fuse together. In the shop, the guy was melting stuff, sticking it on there, but he wasn't fusing things. So,
how long were you there at that job then? Was that just like a one day and you're done?
Oh no, it went on for a month or two.
But self-taught.
Plastic welder.
Plastic welder.
Can't believe that. I've done some of the strangest things. I had a couple of jobs that were nice jobs, but the companies from out of town, I didn't want to leave and go to work for them out of town. So there wasn't very many that I lived here just about the whole time. There was a lot of driving and traveling involved.
Was the traveling always like drivable, or were there times you flew to places to work?
Never flew. I had a job in Kentucky in a power plant putting in metal pan ceiling. You've seen it. It's trying to see a ceiling. There's a bunch of little holes in it. It looks like tile with little holes. That's metal. Got holes in it, and they lay fiberglass on top of it. Had to do this job in Kentucky. Louisa, Kentucky. It was a 4-hour drive each way. So I worked 8 hours and drove 8 hours. That give me 8 hours at home. That was before she was born.
Okay.
I did it for a couple of weeks, and I said, this ain't going good. I'm going to start staying down there on Wednesday night, break it up a little. That made it. But I was only there a couple of months. That wasn't the end of the world. It was good working conditions. Working all by myself. Do a room, and when it gets all done, the boss told me, he said, get that room done. He says, you clean that room immaculate before you call the inspector. Oh, he said, nothing on the floor anywhere. No matter whose dirt it is, clean it up. Make the room really look sanitary, and then call the inspector, and he okays the room, then you go on to another one. But I worked at my own pace. But it was just a lot of driving. At that time, I was driving a little 53 Ford, chugging along about 50 miles an hour, listening to my radio.
Oh my, 4 hours down, 4 hours back.
Yeah. And I worked some in Detroit. I stayed up there in the auto plants. Yeah.
Well, how many years have you been retired then?
22.
Oh, wow. Good number of years.
Oh, I'm ready. I'd like to lay down tonight and go to sleep and be done with everything, but she don't want me to.
She doesn't want you to?
See. When my mother died, I celebrated.
Did you?
And she needed us. She spent her last 2 years in a nursing home, didn't even know who she was, going around in a wheelchair, beating on things, arms all black and blue, and she didn't know who I was all that time. Anybody get talking to her, she'd introduce me as her brother Joe. And he's been dead for years. It was really sad when she finally passed away. It was cause for celebration. I tried to get her to think the same way.
Yeah.
With all the crap I got hurting me and bothering me.
Yeah.
It'll be a relief.
It'll be a relief. Well, it's good you're verbalizing that with your family, so that'll help her.
She's not listening.
Yes, I am.
She's not listening at all. I think she's doing something with that cute little white thing she's got right there too. Do you have one of those fancy phones?
She's a sneak. Here's my phone.
There's your. That's the kind I wear on my hip, the work flip phone. Yeah. But no, it's good that you're sharing how you feel about things, because you do have a serious illness, and that the first thing that people worry about is wondering how you're doing with all this, and so it's good you're open and just sharing that with you, even though for you it's maybe hard to hear. I'm okay with this, I just want to lay down and have it be all over. And that maybe you want them to celebrate when you're gone and have a celebration. That you're
I'm not brave enough to shoot myself. I found out that takes a lot more nerve than what people think. Guys who kill themselves aren't cowards. They're tough. I always say the lucky ones are these guys. You see them, they're in their 50s or so. Look at me, never been sick a day in my life. Never met a doctor, really bragging. If they could just walk away from the camera and drop dead, they'd be really fortunate. That's the time to go.
Well, how long have you...
I've been messing around with pacemakers and all this shit for 10 years.
10 years?
I did 11.
You have a pacemaker or one of those defibrillators, or?
I went yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Day before?
We went over to my cardiologist and turned off the defibrillator.
Okay. Who's your cardiologist?
Dr. Noble in Columbus. I was here about 6 weeks ago. That thing fired off and revived me once. First time ever in all these years with pacemakers. It's the first time I ever felt one of them go to work.
How big of a kick was it when it went off? How big of a kick to you was it?
I was laying here, had my feet up in there, and head on the pillow, and almost asleep. And all of a sudden it just I felt like that, and I, who the hell is this now? And I opened my eyes, and I thought one of my buddies connected.
Right.
Nobody here, and I thought, well, what? I'll probably just drank it, and I just got comfortable again, and then the second time, and I recognized it again. I said, oh, there it is. And first call was Claude. He got all excited. I said, nobody ever told me anything. I said, you've never mentioned at all what I'm supposed to do.